Welcome, my friends, to Charnel Valley, the deserts of the Tomb Kings, a haunting echo of long-lost civilization and a nightmarish realm of the undead who still call it home. But there won't be any Nahakarans battling it out in the shadow of the pyramids today. It's the High Elves and the Greenskins, 10 kingdoms and a united Wa, soon to spill blood on the sand. Grimgor Ironhide, the monster, the myth, the legend himself, leads his Black Orcs into battle once again under the watchful gaze of Arachnarok, with trolls, night goblins, and even an Arachnarok Spider in support. Broken Tusk Bacon Riders lead the Pumbas as a powerful shot cavalry force, and on the other side of the field flies Alarielle the Everqueen, hands down the most powerful lord in the High Elves arsenal. She's one of the best lords in the game, with heals and support abilities for days. A Moondragon of Lilith will provide some terror and additional power in the air, can melt through a horde of gobos in a single gout of noxious flame, while Shadow Warriors green and scout with Silver Helm Knights in support of the main assault. It's Felcon versus Arachnarok, two very powerful players, two very powerful factions, and it's time to get things popping. Here we go. For Arrow and the Greenskins, it's 3 Black Orcs as the main killing force, Rusty Errors, Trolls, and a Big Mama Spider, with a Night Goblin Shaman channeling the brutally cunning nature of his god Mork. Gork'll Fix It, Vindictive Glare, and Sneaky Stabbin' as his main spells, and that Magic Missile play with its bonus for large going to be incredibly important to neutralize the power of Alarielle in the air and force out some heals early. Very balanced build from Arrow here. He's got some decent skirmishing potential, some nice mobility out on the flanks, Trolls and the Queen Mama for some mass and killing power, some nice cav, and a front line of Black Orcs to chew through High Elf infantry and knights alike. Grimgor is completely stripped down, no Gitsnick, and that means he's just going to be a Wa battery to try and get as many global buffs off as he can. But across the desert, march Felcon and the Azure of the Gaian Vale. 4 Shadow Warriors in the vanguard, a lot of skirmish power tied up in those units, really flexible and versatile archers with a Moondragon and Larry flying overhead. She's got immune to Psych in an AoE, magic attacks in an AoE, the best heal in the game with Star of Avelorn, cheap Earthbloods, Faw's Protection, and Arcane Unforging for delaying the Wa, and it's just a super strong lord choice in general. Below her are a bunch of Azure Spearmen, a unit of Swordmasters, and some Silver Helms to round out the rest of the build. And there's a lot of space in between these two armies, so there's probably going to be some skirmishing in the air. Moondragon might be poking on that back line, but Alarielle needs to be a bit more careful. She's on that Great Eagle, doesn't have a lot of armor. Vindictive Glare can do a lot of damage, and it will. That's going to be your first overcast, hitting her square in the face, chunking a decent amount of HP right off the bat. So Felcon, not deterred, going to keep flying overhead and looking for some kind of target to land in and amongst, but Rusty Errors and the regular Night Goblin Archers are there to support, and that's a Gork'll Fix It. Gonna lower her speed by 48%. She's gonna be moving like a snail, and that will make her a target for all those armor-piercing arrows. And remember that with that armor sundering, it'll be lowering her armor even further and allow those other Night Goblin Archers to get some good shots in. But here comes that noxious breath from the Moondragon, shredding apart the Rusty Errors, cutting their HP down by about 2/3, and they might just run right off the bat. But Alarielle, already running from the field, she'll probably be fine. There's nothing to chase her off the map, and she has those heals. She will be able to get back into the fight, but that's pretty good. That's a lot of damage already going her way. It's important to do that to the enemy lord and make sure that she wastes some heals on herself. Shadow Warriors are doing what they do best, doing a bunch of kiting, Vanguard deploying shenanigans, getting some good damage in on those Night Goblins and on the meat shields up front. Arachnarok Queen will not be able to close the gap and shut them down for good, but they have a Silver Missile block chance, and they're very cheap, so not the worst thing ever to take arrow fire. You don't want your trolls taking that, though. They don't have a ton of armor, and they will take a tremendous amount of damage if 4 Shadow Warriors are focus firing them at once. All the archers are behind the safety of their own infantry now, and Alarielle is already back in the fight, waiting to Earthblood it up. She'll probably wait until the Silver Helms or some of the other infantry have taken some damage before she pops that Star of Avelorn. Nice charge coming in from the Silver Helms, going to completely surround those Night Goblins, and they will break pretty much off that charge. Black Orcs going into melee now, and Grimgor Ironhide looking for some Azure Spearmen to slay, but Swordmaster's gonna get a clean charge off on the Black Orcs, and they are anti-infantry specialists. They will trade very well into Black Orcs here. Obviously, both very high on the AP. Grimgor with Gitsnik gonna wade in and start lopping off heads, trolls, and the Arachnarok Queen. Gonna get straight into those Swordmasters and help turn the fight there. So Swordmaster's probably not gonna be able to win against elite infantry, elite monstrous infantry, and a massive monster to boot. But that is a Star of Avelorn and Alarielle. Perfect positioning from Falcon. Gonna be right in the center of that. Also healing up his Swordmasters. That is some serious value on that heal. Really well played there. Black Orcs and the High Elf Spearmen going to work. Wa about to activate, and here it goes. Choppas slicing through those shield walls, no problem whatsoever, as a malicious Moondragon lands in the back of the big Mama Spider. Broken Tusk Mob and Silver Helms going into each other. That's a huge charge, and it looks like even though Wa is activated, the Silver Helms are getting the better of that engagement, which kind of surprises me considering the bonus for large and AP those Broken Tusk Mob have. Moondragon is getting absolutely destroyed by a Gorkle Fix-It and Rusty Airs. Night Goblin Archers focus firing him down. And yeah, Silver Helms are gonna come out on top in this engagement. That martial prowess gonna be the difference maker here. That melee defense at the beginning of that charge helped them tremendously. Broken Tusk Mob already running for the hills. So are the trolls in the center. They're breaking, but the Moondragon went in from full HP and down to almost 0 in only a couple of seconds there. Just got absolutely shish kebabbed when he decided to commit that dragon. But Alarielle back above half HP when she was down to only a third. Shadow Warriors focus firing down on the Arachnarok, and the Moondragon will probably rally and come back to his queen. Yeah, right now. But Black Orcs are chasing off some Azure Spearmen, kind of running off to the side of the map. That's problematic. You can't afford to be making micro mistakes against Falcon. He will make you bleed for that. Hopefully, Arachnarok can get that under control relatively soon and bring those Black Orcs into the fight. Nice Earthblood gonna hit the Everqueen and the Moondragon, who might be lining up for a breath attack. And Grimgor slicing through Spearmen as coruscating flame rains down from above, bathes that spider in Dragonfire, and more of that cav. The spiders, the Death Creepers, running for the hills. Nice focus fire coming in from the Shadow Warriors, definitely chunking down the very heavily armored spider. And actually, a couple attacks here from Grimgor and the Arachnarok could be enough to see that Moondragon off. Look at how slow he's moving. That's crazy. That Gorkle Fix-It and the poison just stacking up to make sure that he cannot go anywhere. One more attack. Moondragon out of the fight. Really well played from Arachnarok there. That's one of the biggest threats on the map dealt with now. But the Silver Helms and Alarielle are just having free reign in the Greenskin back line. Those archers being completely run over, trolls coming back to the fight. They'll be able to deal some damage to the Silver Helms, but if Alarielle gets stuck in there with all that AP and all the support she has, probably going to be enough to make sure those trolls rout. And there is so much routing in the back of Arachnarok's line. One unfortunate Black Orc going to get sent plummeting from the skies, smashing into the desert below. But Grimgor and the Arachnarok are a bastion in the center, and everywhere they go, they're buffing up their Black Orcs and slaying High Elves left, right, and center. Grimgor getting in some more. Shadow Warriors beginning to run out of ammunition here. They don't have anywhere to go. They're archers that are pretty decent in melee, but they have absolutely no chance of beating up on Black Orcs or Grimgor, the greenest and the meanest Black Orc warboss in existence, and Wa has popped for the second time. Arcane Unforging has not gone his way again. We saw Falcon cast that at the beginning of the game to put Wa on cooldown, but we have not seen it again, and that's really the only damage Grimgor has taken so far. But Alarielle probably used another Star of Avelorn. She's now back up to full HP. That's gotta be so frustrating to take her all the way down to about a third HP and then blink and she's back up to full. But that means she's going to be very near the healing cap. When you play against Alarielle, you have to realize she's going to hit that healing cap the majority of the time. Just make sure you continue to pour as much damage into her as possible, and if she's the last person on the map, it won't matter. She's still going to die to a Grimgor or an Arachnarok in a 1v1 fight. Got another Gorkle Fix-It going her way, going to slow her down, cut her speed in half, and that is a very precarious position for her to be in. Grimgor's got 500 weapon strength. One attack, gonna take her down about a fifth. And it won't take very many. I mean, seriously, if they go on in a head-on-head engagement, it'll only be maybe 6 or 7 attacks, and Alarielle will be close to routing. She will get put in a trash can by the Big Daddy Blunderlord. And what she's doing right now, very scary. I don't know, if I was Falcon, I don't know if I'd be doing that. I mean, he got an attack in there, so it wasn't too bad, but she took some tremendous amount of damage going back her way. And the Black Orcs have finally gotten under control from Arrow. He's pinned a few of the Silver Helms in place. We'll be sure to kill off those models. Arachnarok still alive, has really good leadership, and still that force for terror in the middle. But Alarielle and the Silver Helms will probably manage to bring her down relatively soon. A swarm of Shadow Warriors and High Elf Spearmen surrounding the Queen, and she is going to break. Night Goblin Shaman also just shattered from Alarielle. She's down to half. Black Orcs getting in there now, and it's going to be up to them and Grimgor himself to carry the day. If they can or not, it's still up in the air. One of them just got sent plummeting to the earth again. Really cool animation, I love that one. But we got Grimgor and the Black Orcs, and they're just going to hold out against a swarm of High Elves. So they've definitely got the numbers on the field right now, but Grimgor has been carving stuff up the entire game. Gitsnik has tasted the blood of many Ulthwani this day, and we got more attacks coming in. Gonna flash one more time, couple more times, and heads will go rolling. More attacks coming in, and Shadow Warrior, you're in the wrong spot, bud. Grimgor is getting hype. The Wa is getting hype. It's popped for the third time this battle. He has absolutely been the Wa battery the Arrow wanted him to be. And those Black Orcs and Grimgor are representing a huge threat to what remains of the High Elf battle line. I don't know if they're going to be able to carry this. That is some seriously high value infantry. They can pretty much chunk through anything that remains for the High Elves here. It'll come down to cyclocharging from Alarielle and from the Silver Helms themselves. Now he does have some cav left. Some rear charges here could maybe be enough to turn it. But Grimgor and those Black Orcs, they're just scything through everything that gets in their way, and they're also a great option against the cavalry too. Silver Helms, if they get attacks going their way from the Black Orcs, will drop pretty quick, and Grimgor getting pretty close to 100 kills his own. Nice rear charge coming in, and another cycle charge coming in from the Silver Helms. Now they can turn around, and all that damage will be going the way of the Knights of Ulthuan. Alarielle coming back to the fight, she was making sure that the Arachnarok Queen could not return. And a nice cycle charge coming in. Grimgor versus Alarielle. More hammer and anvils from the Silver Helms. This is coming down right to the wire. Because both Falcon and Arrow, they're on life support at this point. They don't even really have armies. Grimgor and a handful of Black Orcs. Alarielle and a handful of Shadow Warriors. And Silver Helms that are seconds from routing. Balance bar perfectly even. Grimgor, with 500 weapon strength and all that AP, only needs like 2 attacks to probably finish off Alarielle herself. And the Black Orcs are still in the fight because they cannot, the Immortals cannot leave their war boss to die in a horde of Avelorn troops. They're just seeing off everything, man. This is crazy. More Shadow Warriors about to die. Alarielle getting another cycle charge, sending someone flying. Was that? Yeah, that was Grimgor. The Eternal, no, that was not Grimgor, that's a Black Orc, okay. So Grimgor was not thrown across the map. That's good. That's new for him. Usually he's getting pinballed everywhere, but this battle, he has been an absolute monster. So of the Black Orcs, we're up to 170 kills. Silver Helm's getting sliced up. Some heads going rolling. I cannot believe those Black Orcs are still in the fight. That cycle charge might be enough to see them off, and then it might just be Grimgor left. Alarielle is at 500 HP. One attack would be enough to shatter her. Balance bar starting to shift a little bit in Falcon's favor. I'd say he has the advantage at this point, but it's only one attack. Goes the way of that Great Eagle, could shift it, because army losses is a fickle thing, man. You lose your Lord, and your entire army at this point is going to go running. But that's the same for the Greenskins as well. Very precarious position for both players. He landed her. If Gitsnik bites deep into that Great Eagle's flank, it could be enough, but no. He got an attack off in the rear of Grimgor. And Grimgor was a boss that game. Like, he's a meme, for sure. I think, in general, 95% of the time, that an Azag or a Wurzag is going to be a better choice for you, especially in the High Elf matchup. Spirit Leash is going Alarielle's way that whole battle. Would have been very, very useful. But I don't know if Azag or Wurzag could have provided the killing power Grimgor did in that battle. And they certainly would not have allowed his army to get off 3 Was, which was hugely impactful. Honestly, if Arrow did not forget those Black Orcs that ran off to the side of the map, I think he probably takes that game, because that was a long time that his most important infantry unit that was full HP at that point was not hitting bad guys. Those high elves would have been in a tremendous amount of trouble. Alarielle would have taken a lot more damage in those fights around Grimgor if those Black Orcs had not been forgotten. But that's part of the game, right? It happens to everybody. Micro mistakes happen. You lose track of a unit, and Falcon made Arrow bleed for it. He punished it for sure. Had some really good plays with those Stars of Avelorn. Each time he used it, he made sure not only was Alarielle benefiting from it, but also another high-value target like the Sword Masters of Hoeth. So he saw the Sword Masters taking a lot of damage, and two very powerful shock monster units hit their formation, and then said, okay, I'm going to heal up Alarielle, and I'm going to heal up this really important infantry unit for myself. The Moondragon was actually shut down really well by Arrow, by those Gorkle Fixits, and by Durusty Heirs. Silver Helms made a huge impact on the battle. Look at that, 141 kills, 3 chevrons. That is absolutely insane. And overall, Black Orcs made a huge impact on the battle as well. Super fun game, great game to Falcon and Arrow. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time. Peace out.